We live?
Not yet. We're getting there.
Okay. Huh.
Hey guys, it's Brindley. I say it every week. I'm excited because I just look forward to these Monday nights, and every time I come to these Monday nights, I get better because I have to study, I have to prepare to bring you knowledge. And so when I started thinking about this week, and I realized that I've been having a lot of questions about the last 12 to 18 months of really the last 6 to 12 months, I would say. I've gotten a lot of questions around something's different, and not just the hair, but something's different. What's been going on? You seem like you're just more centered, you're more grounded, you know what you're doing, you're just more congruent. And so I thought, why not introduce the world to the person that has entered my life? She entered my life in November, I believe was our first call. I mean, she entered my life years ago, but reintroduced. God just kind of laid on my heart in November. We had not spoken in 2 years. I forgot this story, and it's coming to me to share it. We had not spoken in almost 2 years, a year and a half or 2 years, Mandy, probably, yeah, around that. And God just kept laying her name on my heart out of nowhere. And I was like, I need to pick up the phone and I need to call her. And I was going through some pretty big transition in my life. And we just had a conversation, and she told me what she was doing. And she's a transformational coach. I'll let her tell you a little bit about that. And she says, I'm doing breakthrough emotional release work now. And I was like, tell me more about that. And so in December, I flew out to Arizona, and I spent 2 days with Mandy, really going through a lot of emotional release work, a lot of stuff. I said, I just need help with my emotional intelligence and my emotions. And then we started coaching together in January right after that. And so she has been a huge part of my mindset, of my being able to stay centered through this. And I just wanted to share her with the world. And so, Mandy, tell them a little bit about a breakthrough, because you're going to explain it way better than I am.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. Really excited to connect with you in this way and remind you that you were the one that did the work. So just remind you of that, because the breakthrough is really an opportunity it's a lot of release work, and it's a lot of clarity work. So in life, we have different things that build up over time. So we can call it baggage, we can call it limiting beliefs. You might hear it as negative emotions, whatever that is. And sometimes in our Western society, our Western world, we build it, stack it, or kind of like shove it under a rug and never really process, deal with anything, and then fully release and fully let stuff go. So in a breakthrough session, in a breakthrough work, it's really looking at where are you at in one area of life. Specifically, we worked on career. And in that area of life, what is it that you really want? Where are you at right now? And what are all the obstacles that are potentially getting in the way, even at an unconscious level? So it's not really necessarily at a conscious level. It's more of the unconscious level, which is where in bold we learn our programming exists. Yeah. So it's like the thoughts that occur behind the programming, the emotions that occur. And in a breakthrough session, it's like clearing all of that and really paving the road, paving the path by focusing on what you really want, even at the unconscious level, and gaining clarity in that. So that's the purpose of the breakthrough session. Sometimes in life, Brindley, people will create their goals, create their vision, create all of their action based on things they really don't want, rather than getting clarity around what they really want, what's driving motivation, what's inspiring them, and starting to create a future that's compelling to them in that way, that's shaped around their highest values.
I think that was the biggest thing for me, was getting clear on what my values were and what my aims were. So what was it that made me like that I held true after I was able to clear all of the limiting belief and the stuff, like, and it's amazing the things that come out that you don't even realize that cause your triggers that weren't even true. So I'll share this with you guys. This was one of the biggest ones, I think, Mandy, for me, was that a lot of you may not know this, and Mom, I love you. So my mother is amazing. She is one of the most amazing women, and my everything. Yet she had me as a single mom in the 70s and didn't know if she wanted to keep me at the time. And she actually sent me to the nunnery, gave me to the nuns, and then came back 2 weeks later and got me. And we did a lot of work around, because I don't know my father, it's just been my mom and I my whole life. And we did a lot of work around the abandonment and all of that. And through this work, I'm going to start crying. What I was able to realize was that she came back for me once she knew me, right? Once she met me and she knew who I was as a baby and realized that she couldn't live without me. And she came back and got me. And it changed the whole way. My whole life, I've been looking at things as abandonment and not being wanted and not being loved and not being needed. And through this work, I was able to see that once people get to know me, they love me, they want to be with me, they want me. And I think, that just, right there was like.
That was a big one.
So much. Yeah, it was.
And it's like the story of our lives, and we all have one, whatever that is, that we're kind of playing out. And when we're able to shift our perspective and see more truth and see more light come into that and really embrace and appreciate all of the path, which is the work that you did, Brindley, it's like you get to a space of appreciation and gratefulness for all of the journey, because all of it's led you to exactly where you are right now. And there's been learnings and gifts and beauty that's able to come in when you're able to shift that perspective like you did.
And how we don't have to live that way. Like, you don't have to live with this baggage. And it wasn't created by you. We talked about that last week in self-talk, right? Like, the majority of our programming wasn't even because of us. It was because of others' perception and feelings and experiences and all that. Mandy, you have helped me so much just in our calls since this whole, our world has shifted. And you talk about is it the 4 C's, the 5 C's?
The
5 C's. Will you tell us about the 5 C's and let's chat about those for a bit?
Yeah. So typically, when we look at change, so shift in perspective is change work. And the first part of change, which is what we just talked through, is releasing any negative emotions, any limiting beliefs. That's the first part, is the release work. The second part is getting clear on what you want. And then the third part is starting to take action and calibrating results. So right now, more than ever, it's really important to maintain a healthy perspective. And when we look at healthy perspective, we go, what does that mean exactly? So healthy perspective spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So the 5 C's pertain to all of these areas. And it's really, especially after you do breakthrough work and you're moving towards what you want in a space of faith, these are things that help maintain that faith. The first one being care. So self-care now more than ever is so incredibly important. We just got word that we're now officially not just quarantined, we're like in the whole stay at home thing through the end of, I think it's the end of April. And so healthy perspective, meaning taking a look at spiritually, daily practice of prayer, daily practice of meditation, daily just silence, being silent, being still, and listening for perspective, noticing things to be grateful for, and really expressing that gratitude. Mental practice care. There's so many opportunities, Brindley. I think you said it on a post earlier this week about how many opportunities there are for people to engage in a higher level learning right now. And oh my gosh, there's a plethora of online learning platforms opened up, masterminds opening up. And I'm noticing that coaching clients are going, now more than ever, I can invest in my mindset. I can start learning the things I've been wanting to learn that are going to help improve my life in a great way. So that's a really healthy mindset perspective. Emotionally, making sure that we're very, very aware of what we are feeling in the moment so that we're able to navigate through those emotions and release anything that's not serving us. So faith or fear, leading from that space, living from that space of faith completely, and taking a look at what are the blessings that might come through this? What are the gifts that might come through this? I had a coaching client say, Mandy, oh my gosh, I was so focused on career lately that I hadn't invested the time into my spiritual path. And now I feel closer to God than I ever have. My faith is stronger than I ever had, than it's ever been. And I feel like I'm truly walking with God. And that's her spiritual practice. So care, and also in the physical component. So making sure we are getting outside, we are filling not only our spirit, but our bodies with connecting with nature, movement, and then what we put into our bodies right now, more important than ever, just so we maintain that healthy foundation. So that's the first one. And then compassion is a big one. In the beginning of this, I started to notice that there was a lot of different perspectives. So people are having different realities around what's currently happening. And the truth is, we have no idea how this is impacting people until we ask. Keller Williams has a great seek to understand in our core values. And that's so important now more than ever, so that we really understand in what way is this impacting people that are in our world, so that we can come from compassion and really a space of gratefulness just for who they are and whatever they're experiencing. Connection, Brindley, I'm seeing people connect in the most unique ways now more than ever. And even if they can't be face to face or get togethers, I'm seeing families connect in really awesome ways. Online, you're doing some really cool things. You said, like the prayer groups, the online learnings, and just more support now more than ever in unique, creative ways. Like, you can social distance us and it won't stop us from connecting. It's there, it's present. So connection is a drive for the human spirit. Tony Robbins calls it a spiritual need. So that more than ever, just finding unique ways to do that. I think we've all heard this one. In times of uncertainty, the more certainty we can provide, the more certainty we can be about things in our life, the more solid our foundation will be. So again, it's a human need, not a need of the spirit, it's a human need. So that need of certainty, what can we reassure clients around right now? What do we know? What are we certain about? We know that no matter what, people still move. We know that no matter what, we have clients right now living in hotel rooms until they find their house and they're wanting to get in. We know that the markets still move, and we know that humanity still moves forward. If we look back at history and some of the lessons that have been there, we know that even something like 9/11 brought us closer together. It united us. So what we can know and what we can be certain about that through this is going to provide more of a solid foundation, more peace of mind, if you will. And then the last one is a big one, and it's clarity. And we've heard this in KW a lot, that clarity is power. Think of it around clarity in a positive outcome. So being reassured that we're all going to get through this. This too shall pass. That there's going to be gifts and there's going to be blessings when we're open to receiving them and we're open to really focusing on them. A lot of them is, from what I'm hearing, is people are focusing on what matters most in their life and getting rerouted in solid foundations and habits. And we're going to get through this, and really choosing that faith no matter what, as a way of being.
So you guys just saw, like, that's our coaching calls. Like, she talks and I don't talk, and you guys know I'm a talker. Like, people are asking me every day, Brindley, how are you so positive? How are you showing up? How are you? And it is largely in part to this woman, because she keeps me grounded. And so it just makes me think, who's keeping you grounded right now? What conversations are you creating around yourself? And who are you bringing into your world right now to have conversations with? A couple things, Mandy, that just you hit the nail with the care, like there's an element of responsibility of us to go out and get what we need. And you mentioned the prayer group, and, you know, I'm going to be completely vulnerable, guys. Like, I didn't do this because I'm trying to be a martyr and fall on the sword kind of girl. I did it because I needed it. I was on a call and I heard Delby, our dear friend, pray on a call with James Shaw. And I said, I need more of that in my life. And I just found a bunch of people to meet at 9 a.m. every Tuesday, Thursday, and pray, because I knew that I needed that right now. So go out. What are you doing to go out and use connection to get what you need to take care of yourself? So that just really resonated. And then the certainty versus the fear, right? The more uncertain we are, the more opportunity there is for fear. The more certain we are, the more opportunity there is for faith. So focusing on what you've helped me do, Mandy, is stay focused on the things that I'm certain about and the things that I can control. So that really stood out. And then another thing that came up today is that Mom and I went on Friday, because obviously, literally, I haven't left my house once in 3 weeks. She hasn't probably left in a month. And so we decided to go for a drive. We put the dogs in the car, and we have a road here in St. Pete that's all the restaurants. And you could see the people that really are wanting to help the community and that are focusing on what they can control, because their takeout phone numbers were huge letters plastered on the walls. They had the safety instructions of how they're doing delivery and how they're doing takeout. And again, like, and then you can see the people that are just completely shut down and it's dark. And it was just this aha moment of, are we reaching out to the people that are in the dark because they just don't know? They don't know what they don't know. It's a new way of living. It's a new normal. And are we leaning into it, right? Are we leaning into it? And are we making the new normal the new? Does that make sense?
You and I have talked a lot about surrender. And I think that, you know, that's really important right now. Surrendering is like, okay, here's what we know. We don't know what's coming tomorrow. It's like a day by day. So certainty provides that, yet the surrender and flexibility is huge right now. It provides so much peace of mind. And there's something really awesome to be able to get in that seat of surrender. We have 3 kids, and our daughter, it's senior year for her. And she just got informed today that schools are closed for the rest of the year. And she's like, oh, it's my senior year. And, you know, so it's impacting her in that way. And then it's like, well, it is what it is. What can we do to make the most of it? Like, we could do virtual prom. We could do there's lots of things that we still can do. So what if we put our focus on that? This is definitely by far going to be the most unique senior year ever. 100%. And surrender to it, because what else can we do? And
well, my 40th birthday is next week. And so I'm just surrendering to the fact that I don't have to have a 40th birthday because of this, right? That's cool. Right? Yeah. I don't have to sell. I'm going backwards. I'm going back to 39. Right. It is. It's all in how you look at it and all in the perspective. And we stay serene and we stay in serenity when we stay in certainty and we lean in. You know, Mandy, I shared this with you at the end, like something that really helps me a lot is, what's the worst that could happen? Like, sometimes I have to go there and then I have to go, okay, then what? Right? Like, then what? We'll figure it out, right? I'll figure it out. I always do. This will happen. Okay, great. So, you know, I'm alive, I'm healthy, I have my family, I'm okay, right? And so I think it really is, instead of going to what if, you know, going to so what, right? And then we don't know that. So let's just focus on today and getting in the right positive mindset and getting centered every morning and really setting intention. You've done a really great job of teaching me how to set intention and to hold space for things, right? Set the intention that I want for the day and then create the space to hold that intention. Did I explain that right? I'm still learning.
Yeah. So in what way have you noticed that that's impacted you? So setting intention and holding the space for that, like, what's one of the things that you've seen the greatest gift come from that?
I think the greatest gift is the faith. Like, in the morning, being intentional about mindset, being intentional about spiritual self-care, and then throughout the day, so that's creating the space and holding the space for it. And so that when I go about my day, I'm seeing everything through that lens, right? It's less opportunity for fear to creep in. Like, for instance, and I'll use this example, this afternoon, I sat down to take a break and a notification came up, a news notification, and it said first child dies in New York City of coronavirus. And I almost went to click on it because that's clickbait for me, right? You bring the kids in and I'm like, "Nyeh," and I just didn't do it. I just stopped and said, what is reading that? Or I just read everything in that article that I need to read. And that was even too much, right? So I didn't go there. I didn't click on it. I didn't open it. I didn't go. And I do believe that being intentional in the morning with my mindset and my spirituality is holding space for when those moments come up, I go, I don't need to see it.
Yeah, it's maintaining a healthy environment. It includes what we allow in, what we ingest in. I think it's Mel Robbins. She says, most people wake up that if you've ever had the opportunity to see her speak, she's laying on stage and she brings her cell phone in and she's like, okay, what's first thing? You wake up and bam, the cell phone comes up. And you're in social media or email or whatever, and you're in other people's agendas, like from the get-go. The power of intention is really looking at what's your agenda, what's your intention. And I don't mean agenda, just like what's your mission for the day, a reminder of your greater mission in life, and what's your intention for the day, not from a doing space, more from a being space. Be, do, have. How am I going to be today such that I can do the things that bring me closer to having the things that I want to create, or just becoming the leader or the woman or the man that I want to be? And that's the power of intention. So rather than starting with stuff like, technology, starting, especially now more than ever, starting with water first over coffee. Huge shift, starting with water because it's putting good things in, and then setting that intention for the day of what really truly matters most and how are we going to be as we navigate through the day. What we focus on expands. It's another bold law, and think of it like this. If I asked Brindley, if you were to look around your space right now and find all of the brown things, everything that's brown, what you would start to look around and you would find them. Right? Yeah. If I go, all right, what did you see that was blue? What in your awareness was blue? You'd probably have to look back around.
I just did. Yep. Sure did.
Because we tell how the mind works is at a conscious level. We say, here's what I want you to focus on. Whether we are aware of what we're focusing on and the attention we're setting with that, it's the level of awareness that we set. So when we say focus on this, bring more faith perspective in. Show me ways I can really serve my community, be a blessing to my clients right now, be calming and grounded and centered for my kids right now. Maintain a healthy perspective no matter what, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. And when we put those things into our awareness, it's like saying, focus on the blue. Otherwise, we go out through our day and it's like blue, brown, whatever, because there's no intention for what we want to bring into our awareness. And it really helps narrow that focus.
Yeah. And I think also like you can reset the intention at any time, right? Yeah. Like you can pause and reset your intention. And I think that has helped me. I think, Mandy, the biggest thing that you've helped me with thus far, and I know that we're so early in this journey, is my self-awareness and where I'm at and checking in with me and where am I and where do I want to be? And when those old behaviors and those old thoughts creep up, how to stop them, how to work through them, how to lean into them, how to feel them, and how to let them pass. And I just think that that is huge. Guys, I could listen to Mandy. I mean, I do. I could listen to her all day long. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted you guys to meet, like, know that I practice what I preach. More now than ever, I need my coach. She is keeping my mind right. She's keeping my spirit right. And I wanted you to meet her because she has been such a huge, huge part, most recently, of a lot of the growth and the change and going to the next level, really. I mean, that's after a lot of recovery, like this is taking it to like, whoa, like outer space level.
Spiraling up.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
On your vision. Yeah, and you're the one doing the work, Brindley. So there's calls that you come and you're like, okay, something came up. we're really going to release again. Well, yes. How congruent do you want to feel? How peaceful? And you're like, I do. And you instantly get into the work. You instantly take the action, and your awareness around it is inspiring. So I think the first part starts with a desire, a desire to really create that shift, whatever that shift is in your own life. And I think that's where it starts.
Yeah, and I'll leave you guys with this tonight. A theme has come up, and it's going to be my theme this week is lean in. Lean in. I think for the last 2 weeks, for those of you that aren't in real estate, I know those of you that are in real estate, more of you are going to feel like me than not, is that we ran, and we ran hard, right? We ran in the chaos. We went into go mode and solution. And I think this weekend, a lot of us went, right? And then we realized that this is the new normal, right? Like it's not going to change overnight. And so if there's anything I've learned in the last 8 years where the most growth has come is when I've leaned into it. And so what are you leaning into right now? And the more that you lean in and the faster you lean in, the more it will become comfortable. And I always say normal is a setting on a washing machine. Like who defines normal? Find what's right for you, find your values, your aims, set your intentions, and lean into it. And then find the people in your life that can help you get there. Find your Mandy. So thank you so much, Mandy. I love you guys. We'll see you next week. If you need anything in the meantime, just holler. Bye, guys.